Hello everyone. In this video we will check after we've been working on our own processes and our own feelings or trauma, what are the situations that make it easier to make all these changes and all this awareness that we are gaining to implement it and make it part of our present. So then we avoid being triggered and defaulting back to our past and going back to square one. Because as well, it was part of my journey trying to address my anxiety and challenges and trauma that I had. But then I wouldn't be as aware and I wouldn't know what things were not as good. And then without being able to forecast it, I would be triggered. And then with all the overreaction and all the emotional roller coaster, I would feel back again. So in this video, we'll check what are the strategies that help you after you've gained awareness of your challenges or while you are working with your own therapist that can help you make it easier. All these changes and all this awareness that you are gaining about your own processes to make these changes permanent, lasting, so then we can recurrently enjoy our daily life day by day for many days in a row. And my name is Carlos, and I struggled, as I shared, with anxiety and trauma for years. And after I felt much more present and healed, I completed a postgraduate on psychotrauma because I want to help others as well in their own journeys. Then recovering. Once we've worked with a therapist, a professional, or gained awareness of what are the things, the feelings, situations, or emotions that we were suffering, that we were being triggered, then your specialist or your program will suggest what things to address, change, or try to be mindful of. And that's a great step. But then we need a system in place that helps us to be the most receptive to implement these changes, all this feedback that we are getting, so it becomes part of us. It becomes normalized and as a permanent change. So then we avoid defaulting back to this previous stage. The first step is having our basic needs met, emotional, physiological, psychological. So then we can feel present and reduce stress, because stress is the main component that can make complete difference between our healing or remaining in the same situation. That happens because when we are stressed, our body releases cortisol among other hormones, and that facilitates, or even if the exposure to cortisol is long enough, that triggers the body into fight or flight response. And when that's the case, then our capacity for learning, focus, stay present gets very hindered, gets very reduced, and makes it way easier to fall back to the previous situations or taking wrong decisions or overreacting, being emotional or collapsing or whatever was our own challenges, because we are stressed and actually we are triggering, or in a way making it easier for our own past wounds and challenges to arise and come back. So reducing stress will make sure that we reduce cortisol levels, so we are more present, more stable, but especially that our body and mind are the most receptive towards learning these new patterns, these new activities, this new way of thinking and behaving and experiencing the world, that we can completely heal the trauma or the situation that we want to. And this is especially true when we want to heal from trauma, because trauma is a psychological and emotional wound that made the body learn how to react always in the same manner. The body had a very stressful situation that couldn't handle and shut down. So it's an inner experience, and the body, to cope with that stressor, with that situation, develop different strategies that those are very personal. Could be numbing, could be disconnecting completely from the emotions, or maybe forgetting at all. And then the body develops some coping mechanism could be also disconnecting or overreacting. So then is this challenging situation that when we are stressed, those old patterns, when they've not been completely rewired and changed, might arise again. And that's what we want to prevent and avoid, to make sure that we've got enough time to settle in new programs, rewire ourselves, and avoid defaulting to those past situations. For that, I tried lots of different programs and attempts myself, because I was the first one interested in doing these changes and moving forward in my own life. And actually, the one that was easiest and made more sense, it's a program that was developed for people struggling with addiction and under recovery. It's the HALT system, HALT. It's a system designed to prevent stress in our daily lives, so we can be present, be mindful and be mindful of our actions, choices, and avoid relapsing or triggering trauma situation while we are still in this recovery, in this healing journey, until we settle in and rewire ourselves and we settle in this new identity. So the HALT system, H stands for hunger, A for anger, L for loneliness, and T for tired. What this system means is not to get too hungry, not to get too angry, not to get too lonely, and not to get too tired. Just that. What it's making sure is that we keep all the stress within manageable conditions. And if when we don't have stress, we prevent releasing cortisol or minimize creating cortisol. It's unavoidable. We are humans and we are going to be exposed to different stress in our life, but we minimize it. So then we can make sure that our conditions around us and our body and our mind are the most welcoming for learning and rewire ourselves. And also, I think we need to remark that trauma thrive and other emotional challenges thrive in loneliness, and that might be sometimes challenging to address. But not getting too lonely, it's a big factor. Also surrounding us with a supportive and positive environment that we can connect, because that's what we need as humans as well, human connection. But making sure that we keep our hunger, anger, loneliness, and tiredness within control, then we prevent depleting our batteries, feeling exhausted or tired, and we minimize the risk of reacting or relapsing while we are still in this phase. And that's what I implemented as well in my own journey. And actually was very, very simple. When it comes to hunger, it's about having a bit of forecast of what I'm going to do. If maybe for work, I have to drive somewhere and I will be away for a few hours. I used to take a sandwich, some snack, something healthy, by the way. That's important as well, to think about gut bacteria. So then we can think about avoiding that stressor. Same with anger. If we see that a situation is getting too frustrating, or we are working with something or in a project or with someone that we just feel like we're hitting the wall, maybe time to break, slow down, maybe set some distance. And same when we are constantly in environments that are triggering us, because anger can come from many sources, but mainly anger means that some of our boundaries are not being respected, and that it shows us as anger. So keeping boundaries, it's a very important aspect as well. I'll share a link in the description as well of a video that talks about how to set boundaries if that's a challenge that you are experiencing. And then we minimize anger and releasing cortisol, being stressed. Same with loneliness. Strategies that we can follow if we don't feel as connected is joining a club, a sports group, or into the gym, or yoga association, or hobby. Nowadays it's quite easy maybe to Google. Hopefully in your area there's some group of people that with whom you share common interest and feel you can connect. And same with being tired, because then when we are too tired, then we'll automatically turn and look into comfort to compensate for this tiredness, and could be overeating, overreacting, or then having a very bad or negative self-talk. And then when we are too tired, our sleep quality as well can be altered because of the stress. So this is also a situation that we want to avoid. And that's it, being mindful. So I would like to know in the comments below if you had heard before about this system, or if you had felt that some of these areas were linked as well to relapsing or overreacting or whatever trigger you were experiencing. In my case, I think it was more about the loneliness. I get passionate about topic and I just go full in, but we need to keep it healthy. And for people that are struggling with trauma, I created the I Got Through community because I want to help people that had the same challenges that I had to turn their lives around as well, just like I did, and step into the life that they deserve. It includes one-to-one personalized guidance as well, with tips and exercises and personalized for every situation, and address and heal those situations and make sure that all the changes that we want to implement and that we want to heal from are permanent. And I hope you like this video, and if that was the case, press like, subscribe to keep receiving videos like this one, to keep growing together, and see you soon.